Sudbury Hall, located in Sudbury, Derbyshire, England, is a remarkable country house with a rich history. In 1660, George Vernon inherited the estate and embarked on a significant transformation. He rebuilt his ancestors' smaller mansion, moving the village of Sudbury to its present location. George's vision was to create a grand house that would celebrate his political ambition, wealth, and social standing. The house has recently been reopened after a long refurbishment, and as you will see, it removes the prestige and history of the house.
This hall has been home to many different children over the years. It was built in 1660 and 1690 by George Vernon, and it was home to his son, Henry Vernon, and it was home to his son, George Vernon. It was home to his son, and then it was home to his son. It was also home to evacuees during World War II, as well as children from a local hospital who came here to get fresh air, get out of Derby. So it seemed fitting to become the children's country house. While you're here today, there is a lot to see and do. There is, of course, interpretation in all of our rooms, but as well as that, there's toys to play with in the long gallery. There's dancing in the saloon. There's drawing in the drawing room. But while you are here, we do just ask that you follow some very simple rules. If at any point you see something that looks really old and delicate, or if you have any questions at all, come and ask either myself or one of my colleagues. We're happy to answer whatever we can.
The Great Staircase is perhaps the finest staircase of its time, with its two broad flights of stairs providing a link between the Great Hall and the stairhead chamber, which is now the Queen's Room, and the long gallery on the first floor. The staircase was probably designed by George Vernon, but was carved by Edward Pearce for £112 and 15 shillings and 5 pence in 1676. With boundless energy and newfound wealth, George created a Jacobean-style house, maintaining the traditional structure preferred by the Tudors. State rooms faced east, while service rooms occupied the west. The Talbot Room was used as a small bedroom, with a staircase to the attic floor until the 1880s, when it was transformed into a galleried library to take the overflow books from the long gallery. Like most rooms in the house, the Talbot Room has had its historical furniture removed along with the books, to make way for modern books and toys, which loses the historical feel. The long gallery was an unusual feature for a house of the 17th century. It is 138 feet long with many fine paintings and an elegant ceiling that is bordered with heads of the Roman emperor. Sadly, the elegance and prestige have been diminished by recent changes made by the National Trust. The room is nothing more than a playground for children, which is disrespectful to the house's heritage.
Who's winner?
Me. 5-1.
5-1.
The National Trust's decision to transform Sudbury Hall into the children's country house has sparked a mix of opinions among its members. John Ornstein, the Director of Curation and Experience, defended the initiative. He emphasized that the Trust's commitment to put more emphasis on play led to the creation of this unique experience. Sudbury Hall now invites young visitors to immerse themselves in history through interactive elements. Some members expressed reservations during the National Trust's annual general meeting in Bath. They considered the renovation an unpopular move that caused consternation locally. The Vernon family, who originally donated Sudbury Hall, criticized the transformation. They questioned how the trust could justify turning the historic property into a theme park. Concerns were raised about preserving history and maintaining the integrity of the collections and architecture. Despite these criticisms, Mr. Ornstein assured that the trust never compromises the care of collections or buildings. The Children's Country House represents a bold departure from the traditional National Trust experience. It aims to engage children in a dynamic way, fostering curiosity and a love for heritage. While some purists may lament the changes, there's no denying that children's enthusiasm and enjoyment are at the forefront. Sudbury Hall's transformation challenges the notion of a static historical site and encourages a more interactive approach to heritage education. In summary, opinions are divided, but the Trust remains committed to striking a balance between preservation and innovation. Sudbury Hall's reinvention as a children's country house reflects a forward-thinking approach to heritage interpretation. The Queen's Room was known as the Great Stairhead Chamber when the house was built. It owes its name to Queen Adelaide, consort to William IV in 1840. The saloon, once the parlor and most likely a dining room, has now been turned into a disco room, with its flashing lights and neon slogan.
It's nice to sit down and watch these.
Yeah, I saw that.
Loving dressing up.
The kitchen below has now been turned into a children's play area.
Hey, Grace, do you want me to make the cookies? Okay,
Today, Sudbury Hall, a Grade I listed building, is in the capable hands of the Sudbury Hall National Trust, ensuring the preservation of this architectural gem. Throughout there seems little history of the house or the Vernon family. Are the changes relevant? Sudbury House is no more. It's now the children's country house at Sudbury.